Welcome back, everyone. NicknLex here. Thank you so much for joining me today morning, for this new marathon slash NicknLex slash music with Nick reaction. I'm super stoked today because what I'm about to listen to, I mean, there's two of my favorite bands on here. We're talking about, of course, Pink Floyd and Genesis, and Jethro Tull. I mean, holy moly, what a lineup! It's only gonna be 3 songs, but it's gonna cover 25 minutes of progressive masters. So I'm super excited to do this. This was sponsored by Joe. Thank you so much for getting in touch with me about this. I'm super excited to do this. So a little bit of a backstory with Pink Floyd. I've listened to Pink Floyd pretty much since I was like 12 years old, but I never got these records, and then I kind of just never went back to check these out. So I started my Pink Floyd journey pretty much with let's see here. I think it was Dark Side of the Moon. That was the first one that my brother and my mom and my brother were listening to, and I was like, what is this music? I remember the helicopter flying by, and and I was just like, that is so weird, on the Run, and then Time kicked in, Great Gig in the Sky, Money, Us and Them, and so forth, and I was just in love with this music, and then I guess I was living in Mexico at the time with my dad and mom, and my brother moved back to Germany. So I decided to move forward and buy more Pink Floyd. So I got Wish You Were Here. I got Animals, which is to this day still my favorite album. I got The Wall, watched the movie, got into the final cut, which is, I don't know, I do love it because it's such a, for me, an album of like, when I was growing up, I would just listen to it like endlessly. Also, Radio Chaos by Roger Waters. Momentary Lapse of Reason is still amongst my favorites. It's just like there's so much great moments on there. And then The Division Bell, I remember when that came out. And then, The Endless River, I've never listened to, just like a little bit, And so there is basically where it comes in. I did get a hold of a tape in Mexico, which is the Adam Hart Mother, but it was just too weird. It was so different from all the other Pink Floyd, like, the more commercial Pink Floyd. So the only album I listened to was I think we have together is Alexia and I think it's the Metal, Metal. That's it. I haven't heard Obscured by Clouds and Amagama. I think we did The Piper at the Gates of Dawn. We did that on Patreon. That was an experience, the first album, but A Source Full of Secrets, and then more Amagama. We still have to do this. So, but I'm just stoked. I just wanted to give you a little of a background. I know it's a long intro, but hey, I'm about to listen to long music too. So Jethro Tull is just like, I used to play 2 songs with a band I was in. Living in the Past was one of them, and I think another one, and the classical Bure. And then Genesis, pretty much on the channel. I got, I knew Genesis, of course, a couple of songs like Land of Confusion, Tonight, and stuff like that, just the commercial stuff, but I never knew the early Genesis. So we're gonna do Pink Floyd Obscured by Clouds. We're gonna do Childhood's End. This is from 1972. We're gonna do Jethro Tull, No Lullaby from Heavy Horses, 78. And then we're gonna do Genesis, Selling England by the Pound. We're gonna do the cinema show. So I'm super stoked. Let me just, now about the cinema show, I want to see if we've done this before. I think we've done this before. Oh boy. Well, I mean, I don't really remember that much. When did we do this? It's a couple of years ago. Well, I'm gonna, I will have to write Joe, and I'm gonna pause the video. If he's okay for me doing it again, I'll do it again. If not, we'll change the song. All right, so I'll be right back. All right, so I haven't received any word back from Joe, but I will find something. I'm just gonna do, in the meantime, you know what, right now I have the time to do it. Pink Floyd and Jethro Tull. And then we're gonna see what we're gonna do. We're gonna redo the cinema show. I've honestly only heard it once since we did the reaction. I know I'm quite ashamed of that, but it's just too much music, But if you want to check it out, if you want to leave this video, if I don't do it, you'll see it in the description. Check out the reaction we did like a year ago, Alexia and I. I looked at the thumbnail. It was like Nick loses it. I was so, I guess, impressed with Genesis. Genesis has turned into my favorite progressive rock band from the 70s, no doubt. Even I can't say more than Pink Floyd, because Pink Floyd has that. I mean, I guess Pink Floyd is a different style. They're not as proggy. They're still progressive, but more in a psychedelic way. And for me, they're more art rock. I don't know. Pink Floyd doesn't really have. I can't really put them under like the same category as Genesis, Yes, King Crimson, Kansas, and stuff like that, because they don't sound like that. They just sound like Floyd. It's just very unique. All right. Okay, let's go with Pink Floyd, Childhood's End. Let's see what that is all about. Let's go. Also, this is the album before Dark Side of the Moon, which is pretty crazy. But I'm sure we're going to do this on Patreon as a full album. I wish we could do full albums on YouTube. I honestly do. But it's like, it doesn't work. They get blocked. So here we go. Pink Floyd. Wow. Sounds like Dream Theater. Oh. They could have used this for Blade Runner in the end.
Just too steep. Is your conscience at rest? If once put to the test, you awake with a start. Just the beating of your heart. Just one man beneath the sky. Just two ears, just two eyes. memories, childhoods and your fantasies, merge with harsh realities. And then as the sail is hoist, you find your eyes are growing moist, and all the fears never voiced, so you have to make the final choice.
Okay, man. Oh wow. This is I'm gonna have to persuade maybe to do like I think literally when I think I did a reaction to one of this on the one of the tracks on this album, and I said I'm gonna have to persuade Alexia to do a full album reaction, like a third one. And I think that's what I said the last time I heard music from this album. This is so good. Literally listening to David Gilmour singing is like listening listening to an old friend coming up with new music, even though this was recorded way before all the Pink Floyd that I know. It's just so good. I love that dum 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 dum. And then the whole beginning, Richard playing those keys, like literally that sounded super dystopian. It sounded like Blade Runner. They could have used that when the film starts. And then that solo, like I kid you not, like David Gilmour has influenced me so much. So my playing is literally like I don't know, like there's so much that I learned from David Gilmour, like those incredible bends he uses. Um Even like, you know, the harmonics he does, the pinch harmonics. Please check out my solo. It's on the channel. It's on Nick Guitar. Nick plays guitar, or just type in NicknLex Dogs solo. One of my best friends in Mexico, who's a musician, he was like, "Oh my god, I can't believe how good you recorded that dog solo. You got the song, and it's with $150 guitar. It's literally not even a good guitar. The pickups are crap. The strings were old, but I just kind of like nailed the the sound in a way, so please check out the solo, let me know what you think. But yeah, I guess David Gilmour is like embedded in my soul, after so long, between him and Holdsworth and Knopfler, and I guess some Yngwie Malmsteen. That would be like my what I've come up with, like I've been influenced the most. But yeah, let's keep listening to this amazing track. I love it.
Some are born, some men die beneath one infinite sky. There'll be war, there'll be peace, but everything one day will cease. All the iron turned to rust, all the proud men turn to dust, and so all things time will mend, so this song will end.
Man, I love it. It already has that sound, that Dark Side of the Moon sound. I mean, David's voice is right there, Oh man. And I think there was such a good unison here, I mean, everything that came after was just pure gold, you know. Like, I mean, if you look at their catalog, um it's ridiculous. Like, there's not one bad album, you know. I mean, Dark Side of the Moon, of course, is one of the most successful, commercially successful albums, but Wish You Were Here, I mean, Shine On You Crazy Diamond, Welcome to the Machine, Have a Cigar, you know, and then that reprise into Shine On You Crazy Diamond Part 2. Animals, I mean, there's only 5 songs on there. Pigs on the Wing, Dogs, Pigs, and then Sheep, and then Pigs on the Wing Part 2, just masterfully. The Wall, I've heard that so many times. I've seen the movie hundreds of times. It's just a master. The final cut was just very, very special to me. It's very sad. It has a very depressing, like, the lyrics and the whole sound of the album. I know it's more like a Roger Waters solo album. The band was growing apart, you know, like the writing was just like Roger, and he was kind of like trying to take over, and that's why kind of like he left the band and he wanted to like take Pink Floyd with him, and then David and the boys, you know, kept it. And then Momentary Lapse of Reason, that's just a masterpiece. I love every moment on there, from like Signs of Life, Learning to Fly, Dogs of War, One Slip. All the solos here, the sax work, the guitar work is just stellar. Delicate Sound of Thunder, of course, this live album is wonderful. You know, the beginning with One of These Days, The Division Bell, Pulse, beautiful live record. I've seen that concert so many times. It's just such a band that I thought I knew the best band, you know, and then I discovered these bands here: Genesis, Yes, King Crimson, you know, Marillion, stuff like that, you know, ELP. But it is very different from Pink Floyd. Pink Floyd is so unique. But also another band here, Jethro Tull, and a band that took me more than a week to learn the name, to say it properly. We're gonna do No Lulllaby. Let's see. Let's check my email. So Joe hasn't answered back. And it's gonna be difficult to come up with something different, you know, rather than doing Genesis. But you know, we'll find something. So here is No Lulllaby by Jethro. Here you go. Here we go. I can't say it again. Jethro Tull, 1978, Heavy Horses. I don't know what I've done from this, but let me just check if I've done this before, because this is the point now, I guess, where we've done so many videos that stuff just repeats itself, you know. No, I haven't done Heavy Horses. Neither has Alexia. Okay, let's go with some Tull. Here we go. Okay, so I think Joe has kind of like knows me now pretty much. Like, I don't know, because it's hard to get a reaction out of me. Like, it's hard to get like that out of me. Like when I'm like sincerely like, what did I just listen to? The whole beginning sounds literally like music that I listen to right now. Like Blotted Science, Run Jar Zombek, progressive stuff. That's obviously inspired of all these greats. But I love when you like when you listen to a piece and say, man, I think Nick would literally like lose his shit. Thank you, because there's a lot of music that I listen to and it's all beautiful, but that wow factor doesn't really happen that often. It has to be really something very, very special to kind of like move me. I mean, it's going to move me in maybe different ways, and I'm not going to be so expressive, but right now it just was literally like it caught me off guard. I didn't expect it. And Jethro Tull, I've been kind of like not like super impressed by them because I haven't heard the right stuff. I guess we're going here. This is the stuff that I was expecting, from the beginning. So good. Let's go back. Let's go back a couple of like 15 seconds. I don't want to ruin the song. I know I am pausing, but I also want to tell what I'm feeling.
There's a lock on the window, there's a chain on the door, and the big dog in the hall. But there's dragons and beasts out there in the night that snatch you, yeah. Come out fight with your apple in hand, thrust and parry, lights of match to catch the devil's eye, bring across the fire to the fight, and let no sleep bring false relief from the tension of the parade. Come wake the dead with the stream of light, give battle a ghost and play, and gather your toys at the call of arms, and swing your big bed down upon our necks when we come to say it's leaving safe and sound. It's just well we tell no lie to chase the phase of the rise, and little birds can't fly to keep an open eye. It's just well we tell no lie, so I sing you no lullaby. This is where we tell no lie to chase the pace of the rise, and little birds can't fly, so keep an open eye. This is where we tell no lie, so I sing you no lullaby.
Okay, this is so good. It reminds me a lot of Kansas. I love Ian Anderson's voice. He is very distinctive. Immediately it's him. I love his flute, playing, and it sounds very medieval. The first section, now the dum 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 dum, that kind of deal with the palm muting sounds more like Kansas. Like but that's what I love about Kansas. That's why I think has also like this category from me in my head under more like an art rock. It's proggy, but it has so much stuff, and it's so complicated to play. And I've always been enamored with stuff when I look at the sheet music and I'm like, oof, that's gonna be tough. I don't know what it is. I've always been like this. In everything, in sports, I was always very competitive, and when I got into music, once I kind of built a little bit of uh, of a hand, where I could play different chords and scales. I was always up for a challenge. I always wanted to push myself. So I would always look at sheet music and be like, wow, that's very hard to play. Let's try this. I would never be like, oh, that's too difficult. No, I was already playing like, scales like in arpeggios and stuff like that, like 6 string sweep arpeggios, like in my second year of playing guitar because I wanted to push myself and the technique. And now I don't even do that anymore, but it's still something that I have as a tool, So I just appreciate like music that's kind of complex to play. And that's when I tried, like, for example, Close to the Edge, or Roundabout, Um, was it Roundabout? But that and I was like shocked that I could just play it without having ever haven't without just having listened to it one time or twice, and I could already play it. And it's really difficult, to do because these are all arpeggios. And so I guess it's very good to get into music. If you're going to get into playing, it's always good to play music that's very hard to play because it's automatically going to make you a better musician. And yeah, you just can play very, very challenging pieces, and all this prog stuff is very difficult to play, and which I love. Legato.
Keep your eyes open and break up your ears. Rise your loudest cry. There's hope out there going through your heart. So I'll sing you the lullaby.
So good. Nice. So good. What a great song. Everything, the different time signatures, just the ideas. Fantastic. Freaking tastic. I love it. Thank you so much. And I'm going to do another marathon after this, which is also, and it's so considered. I love that Joe was very, very carefully, and he even after in the email that he sent me, like Warner, it's like, thank you. He's looking out for me. Now he hasn't responded, so I will have to kind of not cancel, just stop the recording for now and wait until we're gonna do a 11-minute track that is still missing. So yeah, I guess I'll just have to wait, but I guess I can record the other one in the meantime, because I checked the songs and I haven't heard anything. But yeah, so just sit tight. I'll be back in about a second for you guys. Awesome. All right, and we're back. So we're gonna do the we're still gonna do the same song. We're gonna do the give me 1 second here, the cinema show, but this is the live version from the album Seconds Out. This is in 1977. So that's what I guess I misunderstood. I did check the email and it was there, but I typed in the song Cinema Show and it came up, the one that we'd already done. But so he said the live version is completely different. So we're going to do that one. So without further ado, let's get started. And thank you so much. Here we go.
Home from work, our Juliet clears him on the wheel. She dabs her skin with pretty smells, concealing two pills. I will make my bed, she said, and turned to go on. Can she be late for her cinema show? Cinema show. Romeo locks his basement flat and scurries up the stair. With Ed Eldine and Florentine, a weekend millionaire. I will make my bed with her tonight. He cries. Can he fail on with his chocolate surprise? Oh, take a little trip back with Father Tiresias. Listen to the old man speak of all he has lived through. Now I have crossed between the poles
Okay, before it takes off into the stratosphere, so I do know I've noticed now that of course it's Phil, Phil Collins is singing, and but the all the other members of the original the first lineup, I guess, well, the second lineup, before it became like the famous Peter Gabriel lineup with Tony, Mike, Steve, and Phil. But we have here on the drums Bill Bruford, one of my favorite drummers. Yes fame, UK fame, Alan Holdsworth fame. So that he's on this track. And then Chester Thompson is on the Pearl drums as well. Lead vocals Phil Collins and Gretsch drums. So again, obviously Steve Hackett has that beautiful classical guitar style that I love so much on this live, take as well. So I don't know. I can't really decide which I like more. They're both so good. I don't know. I guess I have to listen to more, but I don't want to say anything. I'm gonna make a decision soon enough who I like better as a vocalist, but. So this tune, originally we reacted to. I'm gonna put the link in the description with Peter Gabriel, of course. So if you want to check that one out after this, you can. So, but yeah, let's keep going. It's wonderful, by the way. It's beautiful. Let's go back. I want to cover the entire track. Here we go. Okay, so this is already let's see. I wanted to do something here. Give me a second on this album. Let's click because it went into Dance on a Volcano. I mean, we could leave it, you know. I've done this before as well. Let's just, you know, let's leave it. Yeah, let's just listen. I was gonna play another song as a bonus IQ, but we can do that in a different video. Let's just, yeah, I shouldn't have paused it, but you know, I'm so used to. So let's do this again. Here we go. say we go into the another 8-minute song, but I'm super stoked. These two songs are just amazing, especially the cinema show, the dance on a volcano. I have heard more, but cinema show I hadn't heard since we did that reaction, Alexa. And so I have great news because Genesis is on tour, apparently. Only in Australia 1 night and 2 nights in Germany. I don't know why or how this is happening, but they are. And anyone here in Denver, they're going to be the Musical Box, which is a cover band that does Genesis pretty much like Genesis, is going to be at the Paramount. That's where we saw Kansas and Alan Parsons. They're going to be in Denver on December 3rd, so I'm gonna buy those right now. And then Madonna is going to be there. Oh no, Madonna's where we saw Peter Gabriel at the Ball Arena. I don't know if I would like to watch Madonna because I would have loved to watch her in the 80s or 90s, but well, you know. This was great. Thank you so much again, Joe, for this awesome marathon. I think this was a great idea just to let it flow, I wanted to do some IQ because sometimes Genesis does remind me a lot of IQ. Even there is this cover called The Wake from the band IQ, and it even has a guy painted almost like Peter Gabriel-esque, like the green paint and the whole face. So this was awesome. Thank you so much for getting back to me. I did, I don't know if you can notice, but I'm a little bit more tired as I was recording the first section of the marathon in the morning, and now it's literally 8 hours later. So I might seem a little bit tired. So I'm sorry about that, but it's just like I couldn't really get the information that I needed as fast as possible. But hey, thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much, Joe, for the marathon, and I wish you all the best, and I'll see you guys in the next video.